kind of like a preliminary design review, critical design review, and then ongoing reviews to keep them included and say, by the way, here's a year out. We're telling you that on this day we're flipping the switch, but on these preceding months and weeks and days, we will be providing you all the training you want, whether it's webinar or if you're a very large, prestigious customer on the side, you call them and say, hey, we're going to come into your training center and give you guys an in-person training session. And so they don't like surprises, right?
Right.
And they also don't like the fact that the worst thing you can do to them is, I usually speak to Mark every day when I need status on something. Okay, they've gone to this new website. Oh my God, I can't get a hold of Mark because every time I try to, they refer to the website, right? Just like any, car insurance company or anything else you call on the phone these days.
Right.
Because
we're not going to pull the rug out from under anybody, yeah.
Yeah, and I think what, they're all aiming for is, the regional airlines are a substantial factor. I think I saw a few days ago, I was on a webinar, and they said, within the next 3 to 4 years, if you're a regional airline to Lufthansa that flies a Beech 1900, with 19 seats, Lufthansa wants them to be using the same portals with suppliers as Lufthansa is for a 787 or an A380. In other words, they want the same tools available to any airframe for technical support, material support, logistics support. And I think there's 2 reasons for that. A, they want to make it easier and more attractive, more flexible for them to engage regionals, because, a lot of these major airlines, they sign up for regional, they say you got to do this, 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 and this. And it's a big cost factor, from an IT point of view, from who they purchase anything from, APU parts to toilet paper from. And basically, they want to make it so that, if Lufthansa has 20 airlines, or American or United has 20 different airlines as feeders, they don't have to deal with 20 different systems that they have to audit and deal with it and support. So, like everything else in the supply chain these days, in aerospace, it's amalgamation and, going towards a singular system. That's what's going to be happening over the next 5 years.
Yep.
And by the way, also I saw an interesting thing the other day saying that 80% of the airlines in the world are planning on spending at least $1 million per year on connectivity for aircraft for the next 5 years. So, it's kind of another degree of separation, but basically means that, the person that you're dealing with in supply chain at the airline that needs a spare part or repair part, they'll be calling real time because they'll be getting the data B to M, from aircraft to operations or quality or supply chain, saying this plane has an issue. In 5 days, it's going to need this part.
Yep. I mean, they do a lot of that stuff with scheduled maintenance already, but then, the intelligence systems that are running, interfacing with the airframes, it's crazy.
Yep.
And we've already talked about getting linked into that with the through the airframes, and then having that data run to us real time to troubleshoot. We're developing troubleshooting applications that would interface with that would basically say, okay, if this, and this, then it's this, and then send that signal to supply chain to have the parts on ready, And so, go ahead.
I think the evolution on connectivity is that, currently, let's say, current, leading edge technology versus previous is that if a plane had a maintenance snag, an automated message would go from the aircraft while it's flying to operations at the airline. then from operations to supply chain or engineering or both.